Hi everyone, welcome. Let's start the live. So, that's not the way to start a live. I should have done this earlier, but I've been coming down with hay fever allergies, and excuse me, sorry. So the debate question is: are film remakes or remakes of things good? I should really be rephrased. I'm just talking about film remakes because of that Snow White film got hate from everyone and it was poorly acted. The actors were terrible in it. Not only they were terrible, but the whole film was pretty bad as well. And it wasn't well received. They both got hate from it, the two actors that were playing. Hello Florence, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. So thank you, I'm Precious, for joining as well. So basically the debate question is, are film remakes good? I could say for series as well. It could apply to that, but I would do. Maybe I would just continue that for tomorrow or another day or so. But that's the question: are film remakes good? Like all the Disney ones are being remade. They're not really coming up with anything creative apart from just creating stuff. So if you'd like to say anything, please invite. You could become a guest speaker and I will let you say something. If not, you can type your thoughts. It'd be nice to hear back. If not, no worries. So that's that, basically. I was going to go live on Wednesday. I was really tired and I was coming down with something. I had a lot of things to do yesterday. I was supposed to go live yesterday because Tuesday I said I wasn't going to go live. But Wednesday I was supposed to go live yesterday, but I didn't end up doing so because I had a lot to do on Wednesday. I had so much to do. I was very busy. The course that I'm doing is digital marketing, and it requires a lot of teamwork and collaborative. I have to collaborate quite a lot, and tomorrow the actual course starts. We were grouped, and then what's it? Yes, we have to, you know, work together as a team. We're in the same teams as from henceforth tomorrow until the course ends, and we were given client briefs. One of our clients, I chose the made up client though, but the other three briefs are real. So I don't really need to, I don't feel like I'm under pressure from the briefs. Excuse me, I'm very sorry. This is not how a live should look. So if you would like to say something, please, as if you want to speak, you can just become guest speaker. Now we'll accept your invitation. And if you would like to type your thoughts, you can just do so in the chat. That's all there is to it. If you like to have a word in, so if anybody would like to say something, thanks for joining Legendary. So if you would like to speak, on this, please do. You can invite yourself as a guest speaker, or you could type your thoughts on what you think. I may continue the series one, or may say, you know, like books following film adaptation. So what I mean by film remakes is about different films that were previously made before, but they're remaking it to make it for a different kind of audience, like for a modern audience, because of the technology that exists. For example, The Invisible Man, I think they remade it, and some other ones. I can't remember. There was one of them, I think they wanted to remake it because of the technology and all that stuff. So if you would like to say something, please do. Yeah, Dune is remade as well, yes. It's due to technology, because of CGI and stuff. So, Black Cherry 173, thanks for joining. Janet, thanks for joining. Okiki Olu, thanks for joining. So, if you would like to say something upon that, please type your thoughts, or you could just join as a guest speaker. So, and do like the live if you can, because some animations like the Disney ones, like Cinderella was good, but I think Disney are doing it for a lot of their films, like Lion King. I didn't really like the acting in that one, but I liked the CGI, so that was a good remake in that sense. Thank you all for joining. So if you have any comments, please type your thoughts on this, or you could join as a guest speaker and give your perspective if you would like to. You'd have to say anything. It doesn't need to be long. We could type. Joe, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. So, Frederick. So, anybody wants to say something, you could join as a guest speaker. If you want to type, just put it in the chat, your thoughts on this. That's the only question I'm going to ask. It'd be nice to hear, to, to see different thoughts of people's. Thank you all for joining. You're very welcome. So I'm just making this interactive as much as possible. Raphael, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. So if you have anything you would like to say upon this question, the film remakes, I think it's good in some ways, but I wouldn't say it's good all the time. Because Disney, I think they're overdoing the whole film remaking thing. Because some of like Snow White film that recently came out wasn't well received. People hated the film, and the actors were getting so much hate. Because not only they performed terribly, that's what I've been hearing. I'm just going by. I can't. I've never watched it, so I can't comment. But I know people will make comments about it. My friends were talking about it as well. It was pretty shit. The film. It was a shit film. So the actors were terrible as well. Anything you would like to say, please do. You could type as well, or join as a guest speaker. So those are the two options. You could type in the chat. It's no worries. Maybe I'm choosing a very specific topic, but I think a lot of people should know for themselves. It's a topic that could have. Some people think it's good, some people don't think it's good. I get one argument saying like it's good for the technical technology, like CGI, because doing it into like the Lion King film was made originally hand drawn animation, but now they had the technology with the CGI. They made the animals look as if they're real. It was 100% CGI. The whole film was made that way. Even the sequel, the Mufasa film, it's like a prequel slash sequel sort of thing, and it was good that they remade The Lion King for a different. I like the newer version. The older version, I prefer the story of the older version, but the newer version, The Lion King for a different. I like the newer version. The older version, I prefer the story of the older version, but the newer version thoughts on it. Doesn't need to be long. So if you have anything you would like to address, please, or you could type. There's no harm in doing so. So if anyone wants to say something, please do. It'd be great to have some feedback. Like Dune is a remake, for example, because they have CGI now. But before, I haven't seen the old one, but I think I think it was better, the newer one. I think the old one was very long, but the newer one had more of a CG, the aspects of what Dune was supposed to look like in terms of the world. The world of Dune was meant to look like. You can have. There's so many films that have been remade. You can actually, if you like to say something, I would say the technology, but it's the good. I think they're good for the technological advancements of filmmaking and stuff. And there's lots of software that you can use. I mean, they have now. So it's the industry standard. So I worked in a I'm not aware. Yeah, I have worked in the industry, but I've not done it into a bigger scale. But I want to in the future, though. But if anyone has anything to say, please do, or type your thoughts in the chat. It would be great to hear, to see what you think of this question. Even series, I could classify this in the same category, same stratosphere as films and stuff. Like different series of programs like are being rebooted, like Charmed. I think Charmed got rebooted, and another one. I can't remember. There's another one that got rebooted that I saw recently, or a while back actually. If you have anything to say, please do. Fresh Prince of Bel Air got rebooted as well. I think it's called Bel Air or Beverly Hills, something like that. It was pretty terrible, but I don't know. If you would like to give your thoughts, please, I highly recommend you type, or you could speak. If not, no pressure. So it would be great to hear, but it would be nice to have people interact. The last live that I did was okay, actually, but I thought the debate thing worked, and I enjoyed using the guest speaker feature, even though I was nervous at first. But I enjoyed it now, so it would be nice to hear people's thoughts. If not, no worries. So, if anybody has anything to say, you could actually type as well. There's no, if you don't want to speak, it's fine. You don't have to say anything, you just give your thoughts. Thank you for joining ZGreeDV. So, if you have anything you would like to give, you could type. If you don't want to say something, if you don't feel comfortable, I'm allowing you to do whatever you like, basically. But if you haven't got anything to say, it's fine. If someone didn't say anything, they didn't type, or they just observed what I was doing in the live. I think that was the last live that I did about gender identity and stuff. But But I should come up with better debate questions, I know. Maybe that's why people are not really drawn. Apex Computers so far ahead, thanks for both of you joining. So if you have any thoughts on this question, you could type if you don't feel like speaking. Because if you want to speak, you join as a guest speaker. If you want to give your thoughts, but you don't feel like saying anything, you just type. Type your thoughts down and give your reasons why you think it's good. You have to say why. Like I said before, like to other people who've joined previously about CGI being implemented and computer graphics as well, and 3D animations being used a lot more often now, and there's a lot of special effects and VFX as well. That's why some of the films are being remade and stuff. And people have maybe people trying to make it more progressive. Like certain characters are becoming like written differently, or they change the race of certain characters or the gender or some aspects of it. So that's why people think it's good to have, because it's for a newer generation, and it's becoming, and you have to advance your mind and your way of thinking and stuff. And some people don't like The Lion King. I gave an example, was better as a remake in terms of the visuals, but in terms of the story was the same. Even though the story was the same, it was better visually. I would say the CGI, I preferred the animation for it, for the newer one, but I didn't like the story of the newer one. The acting of the newer one. I like the older one. I like the older one more in terms of the acting, the actors' performances, voice performances. But in terms of the newer one, I would say I preferred the visual CGI aspects of The Lion King. Jungle Book has been remade as well. There's a lot of Disney stuff I could think of that are remade. Dune is not Disney or Marvel or anything. It's remade as well. They made it like for a newer audience. They apparently there's this film called Invisible Man was remade. There's loads of examples of films, but if you want to answer this question, are film remakes good? Please do give your thoughts, because it would be great to hear from you, or you could type your opinion on it. So, and why you think. Thank you, Tommy Lola, for joining. You're very welcome. Any thoughts would be nice. You could type, or you can actually join as a guest speaker and give your opinion. I really like the guest speaker. I don't know why I like it. I was nervous about speaking to someone on my life, but now I'm not really a social person, but I just enjoy the guest speaker thing. Even though I'm not the most sociable, but I like the guest speaker thing. If you would like to join, if you want to give your thoughts, you could join me as a guest speaker to say why you think film remakes are either good or bad per se, because the lack of creativity is why they're bad, or people don't prefer it because of the lack of creativity, and people are running out of ideas and not trying to come up with anything new, or they're just being too samey with the same old thing. Maybe that's what I'm giving my thoughts. So if you would like to give your thoughts, please type. If you don't feel comfortable, joining me as a guest speaker to give your thoughts. If you join as guest speaker, I have to accept your invite. I'll accept the invite that you put when you say you join as a guest speaker. So if you have anything to say, please type, or you could join as a guest speaker and vocalize your thoughts. So if you have anything to say, please. So, like I said, there's two sides to it. I'm mostly thinking it's good for the technological advancement, but the lack of creativity is why I don't like film remakes. And plus, personally, it's just a personal thing. It's a matter of opinion. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying. It's more the nostalgia element that's taken away from those films as well. Because clearly, I feel the nostalgia element takes away, the remakes make the nostalgia element disappear for me. Because I grew up with the older stuff, but the newer stuff ruins it in terms of some of the newer stuff. I don't like the way they do things, the way certain things are done. It's not how I remember the films. If you get what I'm saying, if you don't understand what I'm trying to say, you can just challenge me on what I'm saying, because I don't mind. You could challenge my perception on the whole nostalgia thing, because I feel like I kind of don't like films being remade because of the nostalgia. It just ruins it for me. The nostalgia element is because it's not how I remember them growing up. The Disney ones are starting to really get on my nerves with the whole remakes. And they're running out of ideas. And all they're doing is just copying and pasting, but into a different way. They just copy and paste, basically. They're not really trying to do anything new or original. They're not really thinking outside the box. Because everything is all one same thing. I feel the Moana film is going to be a remake, but into a live action. And Women of God, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. So, oh, Priscilla, sorry, I should say. Thank you for joining. So that's kind of ruins it as well. So if you have anything to say, if you have any thoughts on this, please say, because you could join as a guest speaker, or you could just type your answer why you don't agree, why you do agree or don't agree with this being good, film remakes being a good thing to have happen, because when you go to the cinema, it may look disappointing. Yeah, I get where you're coming from, though. Yeah, I think they're ruining. I feel like that's what I said before about the nostalgia thing. It's just a personal opinion that I have about the nostalgia thing. Because like the Disney ones, I grew up, they were very good. But when they remade them into live action, just ruined it. Though. It just really killed it for me. It was really upsetting to hear that. But The Lion King, I think, is good as a remake visually, but I just didn't like the story itself. Even though it's the same story, they're just copy and pasting. The Snow White film, I haven't seen it, but I knew one of my friends knows someone who went to see it, but it wasn't very good. The acting was pretty rubbish from both female main characters, and everything was pretty rubbish. Everything about the production wasn't good. And people didn't like the fact the actress wasn't white, basically. So it was just so much stuff wrong with it. But I didn't think it was that. But I think it's more to do with just maybe they didn't bring out the performances enough or something. It was studio interference or something. Or yeah, I guess it could be that. Like a lot of the, I think some films they do Disney, they're running out of ideas. I feel like they're lacking creative thinking as well, those film studios, because people can easily come up with new ideas, but you just don't bother coming up with anything new. Because we see the same thing all the time. Oh my gosh, there's going to be a remake of that. We must go and watch that. And I said, why do you want to watch something that you've already seen, that you grew up with, that you're going to see again, but it's in a different form? Like The Jungle Book, for example. But it's a good film, but I just don't. I just got sick and tired of those Disney remakes, though. Because you can come up with something new, or don't. You can come up with new ideas and new stories to tell. But you choose to create something that's not that everyone's seen before or people have seen before. Maybe it's appealing to the new generation because they don't know much about it, but they will still see the old stuff as well, which I don't understand really, because that's what I think. But hi Sophie, thanks for joining. Cuba and Polski, Zapolski, sorry. If you have anything to say, you could join as guest speaker or you type. So you could just give your thoughts. If you have anything, just type your thoughts if you don't feel comfortable saying anything. Because you're free to do either one or talk or type. So that is that. So because rebooting a film, you know, let's say it's a biographical film. I would say I'll allow it though. But if it's like a remake of something sane, yes, the technology's there. I understand why they're remaking. I like the technological advancements. I get why they're remaking, but I just don't like it when they take away the nostalgia of those films that I know growing up. It's just not ideal for me. I just can't do it sometimes. I just got fed up of Disney remakes. I don't mind it, but I just got fed up after a while. At first I didn't mind, then I started to think, why are they remaking the same old shit all the time? We've seen these films before. In a Yes, you want to do 3D or live action. 3D I get, but live action, no. It's just unacceptable. Imagine they made Toy Story into a live action. I don't know what I would say to that. But half part of it will be animated anyway. For example, I'm just saying, like with Dune, I get why they remade the film for it and made it seem more like the book, basically, and how they, with the technological advancements like CGI and visual effects, I understand, it makes sense. Like with Lion King and Jungle Book, it made sense to turn it into like a part that CGI, the technology is there. Eleanor, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. If you have any thoughts, you can talk or type your thoughts down. Tom, thanks for joining. You're very welcome. So, if you have anything to say, thank you for joining. Horvath, if I'm reading that correct. Thank you for joining. Anything you would like to say, you could talk or type. That's all your choice. You have to say why you think either good or bad, though. But given my thoughts are, I mostly think I like the idea of it, but I just don't agree with certain aspects of it with the film remakes in terms of the lack of creativity, because you're not really coming up with anything original if you're remaking something. That's the plain obvious answer for why film remakes are not good. That's the most obvious answer I can give, is because the lack of creativity and the lack of thought. 'Cause you're not really thinking. You just copy and paste, but you're not actually coming up with anything new, brainstorming any new ideas or bringing anything new to the table. You're just using that same blimmin' film as a story. You basically practically say you want to make a film about Snow White again and the Seven Dwarfs again. Like, we already seen that as a 2D film. Yes, the hand drawn, because they didn't have those technological advancements back in them days, but part CGI, part live action. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I just thought it was just nonsense that they're just deciding to do all of that. Same with Sleeping Beauty. I think it's Maleficent. They just just made the film darker. That's all they did with it. They just didn't call it Sleeping Beauty. They just called it Maleficent because it's about the witch. I think she's like a witch or something. Like, yeah. If you have anything to say, please join. You could type because that's the option I have given as well. So, yeah, like, they just made it darker. That's all they did with the Sleeping Beauty thing. I've never seen. I think I watched thingy, Cinderella, beg your pardon. That's okay. That's all right. But I wouldn't, because it's live action. They already made it. It's already out. It was already out from a while back, Priscilla. They made it into a live action already. It was released already. And people roasted about the film being terrible. The actors' performances were not great. And a lot of people say it was rubbish, so I wouldn't go and see it anyway. Even if someone said, even if it was released on Disney Plus, of course, I wouldn't. It's insane that they're doing that. Like, the lack of originality is why I don't really like the remakes. I'm mainly against it, but I am for it in terms of the technological advancement, like CGI and stuff. I am for it when it comes to that. So, like The Lion King, I think it made sense for it to be a remake. But maybe the acting was left to be desired, though. I like the actors' performances more in the old one. Oh, damn. Yeah, I haven't seen a new High School Musical film, but I heard they turned it into a series. There's one instance they did turn it into a series as well. It was pretty terrible. I don't know why. It never makes sense to me to do something like that. It's just copy and pasting. They're not really coming up with anything new. Because if you come up with something new, you have to come up with something new for people to. I think they're just running out of ideas and they're not really trying. They just want to make more money from the same shit that they've made previously. Thank you, God's child. Thank you. You're very welcome. Tamira. Timirat, sorry. I'm so sorry for saying that wrong. Thank you for joining. So, any thoughts will be great. You can talk or type. It's absolutely your choice. But with Disney remakes, yeah, I do as well. It's true. The old stuff was always better. I don't know why the new stuff needs to be out then. If we already have the old stuff, though. It's true, you're right. It's absolutely true. The old High School Musical was really decent though, because I remember it was a thing. Thank you for liking, thank you. And thank you for joining us, well, folks. Thanks for the follow. So, any thoughts would be great. It would be nice to hear, to see your thoughts. Thanks for the follow, Priscilla. So, yes, Dune. Like, Dune, for example, has to be remade. Maybe the acting wasn't great, but it was remade to how Dune was meant to look like, I would say. For example, in Invisible Man, they had the CGI to actually make the man invisible in the film and all that stuff. So there was computer. What do you? What is that? Does anybody here want to participate in the World's Youth Festival 2025? It's fully funded. So what about the World Youth Festival? Oh, I'm not sure, but I never knew there was a World Youth Festival though. But if you have any thoughts about this, maybe I can consider coming to the World Youth Festival. It'll be great to come for me to go to it. Is it? Where is it? Whereabouts is it? Thank you, Sophia, for joining. You say about the World Youth Festival. What about the World Youth Festival? And so, if are you looking for volunteers or what's up about it? So that's my question. So, oh, it's in Russia. Okay, it's far from where I'm in the UK. I don't know. I really don't know. I never knew there was a World Youth Festival. So, if you have any thoughts on this topic, please type, or you could actually join as guest speaker if you feel like you want to say something, or let your voice be heard or something. But if not, you can type. It's absolutely your choice because you always have to chat to type. It's in Nizhny Novgorod. It's in Russia. Okay, it's quite far from me. It's a 2-hour flight. I don't know how long. I don't know whereabouts in Russia that is, but I know Russia's very big and it's far as well. So it would be nice to go, but I don't know. I never knew about the festival. I never knew that festival actually existed. So yeah, if you have any thoughts, please do so. You could type if you don't feel comfortable with joining as a guest speaker, because the chat is free. It's just the chat. You just type in the chat your opinion or your perspective of why you don't like, do think it's good or not, don't think it's good. Like, yeah, I think someone said like Dune being a remake was a good thing, and I agree some stuff should be remade, but not everything. Because but Disney, I think they're overdoing the film remake thing. I think it's ruining that nostalgia element. Like I said, like in the film remake thing. I think it's ruining that nostalgia element. Like I said, like he turned it into a live action. They made, I think one my friend said they did Stitch. He turned it into a live action. I think one my friend said they did Stitch dirty for real, and she showed me the pictures of what he looks like, and they whitewashed the characters in that film. I think they whitewashed the sister of Lilo, which Lorraine, thanks for joining. Oh, okay. I am a 2024 delegate and enjoyed it. Oh, that's nice. That's great. It's great to hear. That sounds very interesting. You went. It's magnificent. It's good to get out of where you're from anyway, so I do need to get out of the city of the UK. So basically, the nostalgia element as well, it kind of kills it for me. It's like when I think they did Stitch dirty with him, with the live action version of it. But it's part CGI, so I think they didn't like Stitch being. I think it's releasing late this year or either next year or something. Lilo and Stitch. I think they're going to remake Moana as well. But I think they're whitewashing her character as well for the live action. Like as they did with Lilo and Stitch. They whitewashed the character of Lilo and Stitch. This I think they whitewashed either her, Lilo herself, or the sister. I can't remember what my friend said earlier. I mean, previously when we was talking, it was a while back though. They whitewashed their characters, the characters in that because they were supposed to be Pacific Islanders because Pacific Islanders are not light skinned; they're more darker, and they're doing it to Moana as well. I think so. Moana, I think I can't remember when Moana will be out, but I know they're gonna turn it into live action. Someone was saying about it, and I said, we already have Moana, and we have the sequel as well. We have Moana 1 and Moana 2, so why are you making another one? It's a live action. What the hell? That's what I'm thinking. I was like, why are you doing that? What is going on with you? Why are you doing this? It doesn't make any sense for people to be doing that. If you have any thoughts or if you like to challenge what I'm saying, you can. You could type or challenge what I'm saying about what the film remakes. So, like I said, they did Lilo's Stitch's character dirty in the live action. My friend told me about it. Told us we were talking about it. My friend said, "Oh, they did his character wrong. They made him look like a freak or something, or scary or something." And I was like, "What?" Then she showed me the picture, and she was not lying about. And they whitewashed one of the actors in the film, and they whitewashed the. They're doing it the same. I think they did Moana. They're remaking Moana into a live action when we already have 1 and 2, the first Moana and the second one as well. And I guess they're gonna make a third one of it because it's gonna turn into a franchise at some. Clearly, I could see Moana be the franchise, animated franchise series or so. Like, I think they're doing the same with Witch in terms of not as a live action, but as a um franchise. I think if I remember, but I'm not sure if I'm right. I feel Disney are overdoing the film remake thing. Like, it doesn't need to happen. It doesn't need to happen. To it doesn't need to keep happening when we already have what we have already. So it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't. So I'm gonna check something. Hang on. So if you have any thoughts, please type or just join as a guest speaker if you would like to say something. If not, no worries. It would be great to have thoughts. So any more? So I've been live for under an hour. So yes, like people saying it's good for the technology and CGI, and it can improve viewing as well, people's viewing and all that stuff. And it's good for newer generations to see new things or to see stories in a different way. The ones that they grow up with is different to what we grow up with, like, as adults and all that stuff. But children want to see something new because the new generation of young, the newer generation wants to see something different to what we see. So that's why I think they're remaking. But it'd be nice to, like, the scene Dune. It made sense for Dune to be remade, like someone said, like in slightly the beginning of the Alive, that they said about Dune being a remake. Yes, the story was long. I think but they actually turned into CGI, like, as well. So, and Invisible Man, I think they have the technology now to do make the person invisible, basically, and all that stuff. So, yeah. Any thoughts? Any more things to say? If not, then that will be the end of the live. Or any more likes, or anything you would like to add, anyone likes to add, it would be great to have more thoughts. I'll have to come up with debate ideas for tomorrow. So I don't know yet what that idea will be, but I'll think of something at some point. So that will have to. I'll be live tomorrow, definitely. That's the fact. So, oh, Active Live, thank you for joining. If you have any thoughts, please give. If not, no worries. So, if any more things to say, or anything you could type or say something as a guest speaker, so if not, I will just end the live, as it were. So, thank you for joining. Hopefully, people have a good day, good evening, or good day for tomorrow. I'll see you. I have to come up with an idea for tomorrow. I'll have to think. So, I'll think of a topic or find any topics or research something. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.